Tindani nuleni, nuleta, nuleni, nuleta, nuleni, tindani.
Adibate numi manuleni, afobate numi ngono nuleta. Aramatu fafana yende mi ngondeleni, madamu watara yende mi ngondeleni, watara bebe yende mi vendeleni, amedi sheri yende mi ngondeleni, mamu worode yende mi ngondeleni, tindani. Lasida worode aramatunga welema, madamu kaba badende wenga welema, kadidi mama badende wenga welema, tindani.
Sabari, sabari bajuwe.
Njuwenge sabari bade njuwe,
Tindani,
njuwenge sabari fade njuwe,
tindani,
njuwenge sabari teri juwe,
tindani,
njuwenge sabari made juwe,
tindani.
sanji yenji tele yenja njuwenge atosa. Nasogwe samasi yende mi ngondeleni, madamu sheki yende mi ngondeleta, ajamamu woroba yende mi ngondeleni, anglete blufu yende mi ngondeleni, tindani. Amedi woroba yende mi ngondeleta, uruku afu yende mi mborondeleni, jeneba jalo yende mi ngondeleta, kadi watara yende mi ngondeleni, sarandeni yende mi vendeleni, kadi jabate yende mi ngondeleta, madamu kante yende mi vendeleni, tindani. Tene jankulu bari yende mi ngondeleni, mamu kone yende mi ngondeleta, sobeke ita yende mi vendeleni, batoma ture yende mi ngondeleta, tindani. Kuruku usu yende mi mborondeleta, kuruku marishe yende mi vendeleni, koroki atara were yende mi ngondeleni, awajalo yende mi vendeleta, kuruku klasi yende mi ngonuleni, kodi kabudi ano yalumi yenuleni, ndeba kadinga wole manuleni, kadi bambanga wole mandeleni, abobo julanga wole manuleni, afumiri yenga wole manuleni.
kosa kwenye yala anya na janye keke yala nebe kuma aisha nye yala anya na janye keke yala nebe kuma se mwambe nye yala anya na janye keke yala nebe kuma loso ni nye yala anya na janye keke
واعتصموا بحبل الله جميعا ولا تفرقوا واذكروا نعمة الله عليكم إذ كنتم أعداء فألف بين قلوبكم فأصبحتم بنعمته إخوانا وكنتم على شفا حفرة من النار من النار فاعتذروا منها وكذلك يبين الله لكم آياته لعلكم تهتدون ولتكن منكم أمة يدعون إلى الخير ويأمرون بالمعروف وينهون عن المنكر وأولئك هم المفلحون صدق الله العظيم. To explain, and then Allah has given us this ummah, the followers of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the best of the dua. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam is saying to us, after dua, alhamdulillah. It's the best of all the dua, the supplication we make to Allah is alhamdulillah, which is the opening chapter of the Quran. It tells everything about the whole Quran. Hunna Ummul Kitab is the mother of the book and is the best dua. So when we get there, I will ask all of you to rise up to read Surah Al-Fatiha. If you don't know it, if you're a Christian who have been invited here, please read the Lord's Prayer, because it also points out to the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our Father who art in heaven, meaning He's alone there. Okay, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will take place. Please do that too. Muslims, believers, unite on the way of Allah. Sometimes they call it habl, is actually a cable or a rope. But it's not the literal meaning Allah is talking about. It's talking about the unity in this faith, this ummah, hold together, all together. وَلَا تَفَرَقُوا. Do not divide yourself into segments. I'm this group, I'm that group. No, don't do that. وَاذْكُرُوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكُمْ إِذْ كُنْتُمْ أَعْدَاءً. The Quran is telling you, brothers who have reconciled today, it says you should remember the time you were enemies. فَعَلَفَ بَيْنَ قُلُوبِكُمْ, and then He brought your hearts together. فَعَلَفَ بَيْنَ قُلُوبِكُمْ, Allah united your heart together today. The brothers were going apart, but alhamdulillah, the speeches today we heard, the brothers are back together. فَعَلَفَ بَيْنَ قُلُوبِكُمْ فَأَصْبَحْتُمْ بِنِعْمَتِهِ إِخْوَانًا. As a result of Allah's own blessing, His intervention, divine intervention, now we are brothers again. This is the ayah. فَأَصْبَحْتُمْ بِنِعْمَتِهِ إِخْوَانًا وَكُنْتُمْ عَلَى شَفَا حُفْرَةٍ مِنَ النَّارِ. We are at the pit of destruction, at the verge of destruction. Then Allah brought us back. فَأَكَذَكُمْ مِنْهَا. Allah brought us back. So please, having reconciled, also وَلَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ بَعْدَ إِصْلَاحِهَا. Do not make mischief after you have reconciled. بَعْدَ إِصْلَاحِهَا وَالصُّلْحُ خَيْرٌ. Wallahi, reconciliation is good for us. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have a guest speaker here and I've already spoken, so I want to just give the meaning of the verse. If you heard me reading with their tone, it is required to read the Quran that way. Okay? زينوا القرآن بأصواتكم. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam is addressed the Quran with your beautiful voices. Sing it like a song. But it's not a song. This is the way we read the Quran. Having said that, I'd like to invite all of you Muslim brothers. Please, your unity must be like the small ant that informed his people when Solomon said that Sulaiman alayhi salam was given all the power to hear the birds, the animals. They were all part of his army. When Solomon was one day moving to a battle with his host of army, this little ant was at the pit, at the edge of it. He saw them coming. It's like he was keeping guard. Look at this little ant. Look at this little ant. This is the message he gave to his people. He told the ant to say, Ya ayyuhan naml, adkhulu masakinakum la yahtimanakum Sulaiman wa junudan wa hum la yashkurun. Yeah, go back to your places and hide yourself before Solomon and his host of army come and destroy you. Because that little ant knew, run out. He could have, because he was outside to see, he could have run away, but running away from his community, that will not have guaranteed his security. He alone will not have survived. So he went back to his people. He said, go back. Now, if this little ant can do that, this is the Quran. What about us, with the human beings? Allah has given us a sense of criteria that distinguishes good from bad. Having said that, please, I invite you, all of you, my brothers and sisters, to rise up in the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to invoke Allah's blessing upon our brothers and sisters, that whatever the guest speaker is going to say to each and every one of us, will leave from here with renewed vigor, with renewal of commitment to building our society, to building our community. Let us read Surah Al-Fatiha. It's more than enough for anything that we want in our lives as Muslims. Surah Al-Fatiha. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Right now, jana anye anam karmoke kili. Ana ka sanse manni ne ke fanani. Iko mana luna lulu fana brana. Alisi ka lo haketu to mado andisi ka maybe mo lulu jateta. Maybe kumani for maybe 2-3 minutes. I want to touch maybe make a few comments for 2-3 minutes, inshallah. I understand Atlanta is not here; they are in the hotel, and Texas is also not here. So anybody that want to make a comment, so we just give maybe a few people just few comments to make.
Assalamu alaikum. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. Mbizeka mekano. Ne alatanu alamina mani alu kanana kama la denya bi. Nuni alu tije sema je kanana na alatima makana. We nyado na aya from our history ko mu timini generation su timini dunia kono. Generation suelila isuela ni kanile ifana ke de kole kela isatoni kanele fana na generation mi ka so alu soro ntenole ka botino ka satino ama foi mano mara lu kede mi le fa ya munya so wi nyaado no lo mo bia sama labiyo kono mo achon bawo mana fa ngo akarani dita bon nete gam vako ana kumi mano akala nya no generation mano mo ta la kulila mo PhD sio mo master soro me tono tala boga wa soro la yimi yo community madame yima tono so ya karana mo susu yana ne usas dina chilana ne minga sallallahu alaihi wasallam ala na nyara wa yake di wanziru ashratakal akrabin itiyamu ule fe tali nata mogo fe adami ya mu mafro ikakala nyanyama. You don't have constituent political base, you are useless. It's not free money ya dunya telo ya kala teni wuna fana. So nyama kanyuma nyado ma community law 10 years you didn't struggle bani ma boni nyama ga labie promise me din ala ko kara ka monye ala sini de kama makono wa nyama ma wi atana kala wa nuridu an namuna allazina ustudifu fil ard wal naj'aluhu a'imatan wal naj'aluhu warisin itana to asuno la ka okin ya fi wile so we nyado amino ele yo promise me din mama ma afeka promise woke wanyamati mama wi atisikela afana do tisikela nyama mabelo jala aka karan be kun fala atana foi mono na nyama belo dalu mine wala because ga kuma like kuma ikuno inyaro kwano be islam ayele wa tasimu bihablillahi jami'an wala tafaraku واذكروا نعمة الله عليكم إذ كنتم أعداء فألف بين قلوبكم فأصبحتم بنعمته إخوانا وكنتم على شفا حفرة من النار ما لوتي وبيلما ما بتي بمبيلمان ما على ما فهمينغا أنا مليار بيامولا ولا كمان كاكيني كو أي بويكة على يجرولا كنا ما كاكيني أتنا كفويل وكمي وكمني دمينا توكو personal problem, petty jealousy, greed, all the more community la talk. Be offer la more community tado nyefe be seka jele nye do tafeka 3 generation susu nyama tiri nyonye accountability teno transparency teno o banye dali maka kuma kadama makara si dunia ban matena ta roya. First of all, generation me ni ifa uka sala o ibemu ay mi de di ma wole ala mine wole get the legacy le e wonu ya amroga mote gbemina mo atimiti mi na jama mo because la mi to ni mo be wole wokela so ko nu we setano mo say bisawa ni ko mo we say leadership ama nu kele mi la fama dunya mo kele mi fa yango mo ma belo mo ti de fuila fuki nyo attack no proud failure generation kele mi la fala I feel very frustrated. O hamile nela watibe ngere mele fandenya mveni ne mafui mano because na krana mama belo ima belo mi de keni umu na fala au jafa ulu ma utse jafa ajema kuka ke mula nyanya ma adamade susu ko be defo lekala wa mu defo kala bebe minele bom ya kose kola defo magafo wa na mi ka defo lekeni yo wa jafa ma wani gabo kile fana buyeni ko ite jafa ma dila da itafe ya community da nyefa. So komi traditional awale ni wati siamatino ngede ngoseko na haya mako ala na fumu ko na fe ka ko ka anye mo unute wole mo ka suppress ke ni duka ana atonyola yo mola boni nyam ga labi kama gben ala mi ka wulu nya wole kero temoye boy wisi asuno na kinye wal najhalu aimatan ngede wulu kala minele kundi wu business executive turn to millionaire boy tisekale nyama balo amafe labi ne young board we now I ajekene business la the first of it kind in history may work chief of style aimatan wole koy wal najhalu warisin wole ko era okuni ya umafe chief of style obalo you know no you modon lo ana military academy but they became the strongest force in the country ana bomugi don kokgo hadoka binda meako o fagesa foroni I foroni de ton e wo bola ma feti man ibe bina benayina wa do wule ma befe ko susu timini mo susu sani mala de la hina bela ina ba ma fo kada ke chase la kaw ina ba ma fo asusu abena struggle ka abena ka minoro abena ka ko ma ke kine de kanama I was in the 10th grade when the general said well Dumuya paleke de fa mayor ya leya April 6 Accra Dumuya wo fa mayor ya nye jongo joba wo seke famu wo molifata ulu wo bata sera unu ta la ko ira nu ta ne la ko ira nu ko ngoma kada ala binale ka ya seka fulo ma wo bele mai na mamma ke kine atina jafa mama ukumate because ana struggle ka wall struggle can kumina ko educated people ayi we kama ke kine ma ko ke ma generation ya national conspiracy self conspiracy and it becomes self destructiveness jama moko mama jeko italomini itanada yoroda so ayi matami for na ala biniwe akere maka kundi wule meti seka kundi le fa ibelo alwarisin ko jamana mini wa nyala ayena ko labi masa ya ko bale foita na faina mo susu yana ne mo mi kado masa la le kalo wa masa ya te foile unity le ko bale na maka belo who can change the public perception against our community and eventually anybody will emerge as president tijan ka bana ga president sala me je no ala yana kale inama amuru iza arada an ay kodi ka fa kun fa yakun ke masala o kale ili nyaaro ko we jema so e ka tinule the most powerful rebel leader mo wa gben mo na to no mi le so ala ya for taking it personal problem as community problem for my wole tabia the traditional wali we afaka kuma tangos no assalamu alaikum
Abdullah Kitamba, I'm a Mandingo descendant. And I think this is a healthy discussion. But you know, the other time I had to talk about this on the Mandingo issues was with Momo Dudu. And the last time, I think it was 2003, for some reason something touched me and I called 2000 and I called Sekou Diamadi in Conakry. We had a 1-hour conversation. We're talking on a wide range of issues. And when the conference was coming, I actually planned to go to the conference and then take a complete detour from the conference. But I think that it's important that we narrow the agenda so that the people will come out and present the case. But it's also good to tell them what they got to gain, what they got to lose before even coming to discussion. It's important the people that in this conflict to know what they got to gain, what they got to lose. And anytime they lose, there's a whole generation of people that lose after them. You understand what I'm saying? Let's put ourselves back in history. It will be short, I promise you. What was the purpose of Ulimo, Lurch, and all these people fighting? You know, these other folks felt all they wanted. They did not want wealth. They did not want name recognition. They would just wanted to pray in the mosques. They just wanted to live their lives. They did not want position. So you had three categories. The older generation who said, you know what, we're driven from our homes to go. All we wanted to do was to come by and pray in our mosque, on our property. We're being dispossessed. You ask yourself, after the whole run of the first struggle, are they back in Nima? Are they praying?
No.
Are they back in Lofa? Are they praying?
No.
Do they have their properties?
No.
The struggle had just begun.
That's right.
Now, they wanted this. What did they lose? They lose their kids, your brothers, your sisters, your uncles. Are you still back in those properties? Now, look at the whole of West Africa. Look at Guinea, look at Sierra Leone. Which country in West Africa there are people are dispossessed of their land and properties beside Liberia? Nowhere. Look at Guinea. Is there any tribe that saying we can't go back to Mamu or Zirikore? Look at Ivory Coast. Is there any tribe, even when they divided the north on their side, they still got the properties and other on their side? Look at anywhere in West Africa, only one tribe, the Mandingos in Liberia. So what you lost is bigger than any other tribe in the whole of West Africa. And if you add all the tribes, there are more than 200 tribes. But one tribe has now gone to their properties, and in the process, they lost more than 500 kids, their children, their properties, and their wealth. We agree people die for the struggle. What I would think, there should be a new agenda one thing that's happened, people will think that, you know what, next time we will not use violence to subdue these people because they are proven that they can turn from businessmen into the most brilliant warrior if he forces them to. So that is a message, and that message is a sufficient deterrent. But I can tell you one thing, today the Jewish people, the Palestinian people, they got international lawyers. I thought the Mandingos in America would be thinking about establishing funds, thousands of dollars, how they can how to regain their land. When I talked to Sekou Diamati Kone one time, I said, our president did not support Yilimo, our president did not support Learn, but identified with causes that I thought was great. And I told you, as if I were you, ask yourself, you got three components. You got the fighters, you got the older generation who lost their homes, you got the educated people. The educated people got their jobs, they win. The older generation, they now go back to their homes. The young soldiers, they got no future. They treat them like piss on the street, they call them rebels. They call them killers. It would have been proud to call them killers if they see the fighters praying amongst and sitting in their homes. They would have walked as a badge of honor, call me a rebel, yes. But I got what I wanted, what we deserved. But I think it is a whole new struggle. The first one was true militarily, but it's a new struggle that people got to get up. You fighting yourself, you're losing a lot of energy. You spend 80% fighting and 20% fighting for your own good. You spend 80% of the time you're fighting against yourself and 20% fighting for yourself. Then what time you have to fight? You got enemies got 90% fighting you and 10% fighting himself. You got 80% fighting yourself and 20% fighting against yourself. So all I gotta tell you, you got a lot to lose if you reduce your test to this level. No, you come to America, everybody think you get anything. It's a glorified prison, trust me. In a prison, you think it's glorified. They beautify the prison by giving you cars, but it's still a prison. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's important. The struggle is so crucial. And I say this, that a lot of educated part of our brothers, AB and other guys, they've contributed to the struggle. Those who even understand, you can solve a problem you don't understand. You spend your time, some of your people are staying in Guinea. English people has not died. So I think you should understand that your community, our community generally, is the only community that does not have a piece of possession in Lofa. You still can go there and live there. And the government, as long as Nima will provide the highest vote, Ellie will not make that issue as a non-issue. Because it will cost her politically. Only you can take on that mantle. And I think you should see what you got to lose by being at this point and think what you got to win by going beyond this point. That's all I got to say.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Most of the time we leave our mothers out, so we want to pass the microphone over to her. So somebody got to be available today. Allahu Akbar.
Alhamdulillah ya rabbil alamin. Mo la tanobi. Nu muso kama so ya denzo ya gbere. Nu muso mo la tanobi kabaka ala tano mo de wunya kadwa wukanya ka ko ni ko be kanya. Mo na fala mo fawuni mo bawuna fa ko fembe mo la ko mi fisa ya mo le. Mo wodua wula suni tere. Kala woke mo ni ala woke. Aba jusini kala ata nyefe ala woke. Le mi fa muso wuni che wunya. Nu muso nu le ko mi sanjangune. Kama se mvasa na ete we ko mato ma ko jari nyinga dake ma ko egbe. So one ma wala utu nu muso mo kaka fangata. Ne ko ke mvanye. Ala na silama ya deme nyami ngoka. Kata makasi moni mode lala kabula la itani temini binya kata de ala. Wo silama ya lora ma we moko ka. Wole la to moko ka mindelo mo dokene ka bokene. Ikala nu shani ngapale. Mo shani ngapa. Ngapa sonumi mvasa na kwa weto ko ngapa. Wangapa bamini we. Mvata fa kafa la yukwiti woto le menya kano ko menya ko to menya ko menya ko to menya afini wan to ule wo boni minde kono wo boni mo fawni mo bawiya benilo ati be dona kene ay bokine nu fa nu mu loni yanoni kata na dini ya makata makasimina nu te dona kene le ka bokine ni silama ya fanga mayate ni silama ya fanga mayate ka silama ya dia mo bala mo wunya ka baka ka silama le ka ala dinye mo fawni mo bawunya nemilani ni sande ka labi ya wuleku wa mo bala mo ma dinye makata masho fanga e mo menye wula fanga silama wula wo fanga midini mo fawni mo bawuma ala wadi mo deuma ala wadi mo deuma ne ko kemvanya muso amu wikilo de mo deum ko te mo deum be dala fa kama so mikani ni ndima di aditi makanya na bebe si bebe janda wa abi wikilo a wini mindola mo na mo fama jimi nga mo chewnya wale lo mo deum feni kala ta akuni ala woke kala ta akuni ala woke aya fa ndo mani ko convertible ndole wede ndo akani convertible di mo ale dikunani dole na fa ko mo kata kwese ko mo kata fuete moria ka kante bi wi kata mota ni kama no hukuma kanne sombe kuma mwase mawa dole makana ni ba wete mo kundi yala wala ala ne menjiri awe ndo mai wi kuma kane ngwa kalo taba iko ka na ngwa minga kalo taba iko ka ngo hello Mr. President akala mina we ngwe ko bebe fa ni ngo wa you know convertible, you know contame, you know consume. Akawela ko kwina ko musena ko mamva ni ko mbame ko do ya ni ko asini takaenda ko mbame ko first ko waka na try as I know nothing more Mandingo money is haja donzo ko yeah I know that Mandingo market all like that. When you are Canadian, you mom will do come over here, Muson be more be akulo, akoto mo miela. Aka wela awe ata sanika 10 o'clock na yanoshi. Mo kata mashona. Mo lo mashona security wo police wo ka fa ko yo open the law for convertible there. Aka siala kamonye. Akada wa dala wa wurungula takataka di nimama. Kaba ka cheme wurungula takataka di ma. Kuna ta lakwa imini yangu na ta lakwa ila bida wia kama so njete ile kakata kwa ele wo ko dara cheme wo we amini ku ya lakwa isalale wo ko continue yubo gawala ka ngo mi de to continue yubo wende to kamera ko inge wa ito jasna wa ele ngu yakuma wele tunere so nu mo na ta mi ngapa mo chewu ka sawa kamo de usawa mo na wo kamine mo na nyonye ne kera ngwa mo dokere amo bokini mo nu damunu ni amo ka dokene amo ka bokini ala do kadnya mo ka mo bale woke so me ya mi nani ni amo din ala ko so animi ko so mo dewu fembe bo moro wo be fisa mo le amo do wo ka mo dewu nye amo lu afasala kala wo ka mo nya ala woke kala wo ka mo nya ala woke fanga me ya la lo ngapa mini we ato ngapa denu mini we mana we sole we no fa uta faule na ngapa ba mi gungunte ani we la yu fonsia la yu kuiti ka mprati sabe makone abi so mo adule ni we wo bani mi de ko na mo fa una dona kene ka bokene so amo do kene ka bokene sa ala me yakuta so min de mva fanya wele we no muso ala la dinya monye mo chewu ala la dinya monye ala mo de wuta nyefe ala mo chewu ta nyefe mo de mu beta kiyama mo che mu beta kiyama mo ba de mu beta kiyama ala la hinala min va ka fanya mva uwele
regarding Mandingo situation in Liberia, and we're going around interviewing people from different places all across America to get a viewpoint regarding what is going on in Liberia with respect to our community, Mandingo Muslim community in particular. So we're here today talking to Sheikh Sharif, who is the Imam of Masjid Al-Islah, the first mosque in our community here in Southwest Valley. So Sheikh Sharif.
Yeah. Thank you. Welcome.
All right. We have just few questions to ask you. Just what is your opinion about the overall situation of the Muslim Mandingo factors of the whole Liberian Civil War? What is your view?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. All praise are due to Allah. We praise Him and we seek refuge in Him. First of all, I want to thank you for this effort, you and Brother Sharif, to have the interest in the upliftment of our people in unity. Liberia, as far as Mandingo Muslim are concerned, if we just start with the civil war, I think we all know what they have gone through, the suffering, and also all Liberians also are fighters, as a matter of fact. But what I want to say here is that as far as Mandingo is concerned, the war actually affected us in that ways. Family life, businesses, everybody was dislocated, expelled. So people are just trying to pull their life back together, and I know it's a lot of challenges, but we have to be prepared as a community, as people, to meet those challenges. A lot of people have gone through similar things in their life, and they still came out of it more aggressive and more progressive and stronger. So that's why we have to actually focus on what we can do next, because talking about the past so much sometimes it just keep you backward. So let's learn from the past and try to build the future. That's what I would say.
All right. Everywhere you go today, people talking about this unity, how we're not together. What can we do to bring our people together? Do we have to all belong to one strong political organization, or do you think it is in our best interest to belong to different organizations, but in order for, despite the fact that we belong to different organizations, but we still have the same objective of protecting our collective interests?
Well, diversity is good, and involving in different aspects of the society is also good. But in the case of the Mandingo, I don't think we are utilizing it properly. I don't think we are utilizing it properly, because people always make that argument that it's good to spread around, it's good to be in different parties, in different groups. That's true, but though philosophy, that philosophy is dividing on more, because we are not together yet. So I would say that it's better we put our house in order first, as Mandingo, as one body, come together, with some strong objective put in place before we can start spreading out. But if we are not together, it's still going to be the same thing, that this person is here and he's looking at other person negatively, so it's going to make it more difficult. Now, my view has always been this, and I always like to share with people, and this is another occasion that I can really put it forward, that I think will help to put us together. And that is going back to our root, and how our ancestors were able to do their things despite that they was not educated, but that unity was there. Unless we can go to that again and start all over, I just find it difficult that we're going to be united in the near future. And this is what our vision. I think one of the best ways to unite the Mandingo people is to put them together along family line. Like the Kone, the Sharif, the Kroma, the Jabate, the Kamara, unite those people first as family. You got the family, the Sharif family, for instance. You got the Kone family, you got the Kamara family, you got the Jabate family, because those unity a whole and a work, and people respect it. In fact, from a cultural and traditional standpoint, you know, everybody is forced to respect those gatherings. No matter how educated you are, you can have all your master's degree, PhD. If you are in that family tied, you are bound to respect it. That's what I have seen, you know, from my own eye, my own experience. Even back home, those group that are there along this kind of family line, they are the, you know, more stronger one and more united one. That together, you know, and have their head. And that head there, you take them and make a leadership of Mandingo leadership out of that. I think we will achieve something.
But don't think that would be like replicating the Somalia situation where people have more loyalty to the clan than to the national fabric population?
No. This is something just to bring the community together. So if the community is together like this, if you agree like this, if it comes to other national issue, of course, everybody going to be together on the national issue. I mean, if it comes to political issue, everybody going to be together for that same purpose. But just this is in-house, you know, unity that I'm talking about. If we unite like that, then we're going to speak with one voice. Politically or everything, we're going to speak with one voice. If the Sheri speak, the Kone will not come and contradict that. If the Kamara speak, the Jabate will not come and contradict that. We're going to be speaking with one voice. Say that person is speaking for us. I would like to call it like kind of council of, you know, council where low people will be appointed there and it will be rotational. It can be like 2 years or 3 years. You know, when that, I mean, rotational, so every family will have the chance to lead. You know what I'm saying? Short period, 2 years or 3 years. Just like the way the European Union operate. I think that would be one of the best ways we can serve our community. And I think I will be doing some work on that area to combine with what other effort that people are doing.
All right. We have some DVD from Morovia recently. Last year during the Ramadan, President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf called the Muslim community to go to the executive mansion where they had dinner for the community. And imams from various mosques, including the political leaders, Alaji Kuma, Sekou Kone, they all were there. What do you make of such a gathering? Is that a sign of progressive leadership on the part of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf or what?
Well, I think so. I mean, it's just a sign of reaching out to everybody, trying to bring everybody together, trying to show that Liberia is for everybody, Mandingo and other people. But I would love to see those gathering, you know, march with some serious and constructive decision, like the involvement of the Mandingo in the government, giving them the opportunity that giving to other people, you know, because gathering to share idea, if it's not march with some actual action, you know, it just don't relate well. So I would love to see that the government do most of those gathering, and also, as you know, listen to opinion from every walk of the Liberian society, and the opportunity should be given to everybody to prove themselves right or wrong.
Yeah, well, I know there's been so much complaint in the Mandingo community that we're not involved in government that much. But the question other people are asking, Liberia has 16 ethnic groups. Let's say now, how many ministers can each ethnic group have when we talk about balance? Okay, in a situation where we, when Ellen government came to power newly, we had 2 ministers from our community, but still a lot of folk complain that we're not fully represented. Do you think we are justified to say, well, we should get at least 3 ministries in a situation that we got 16 ethnic groups in the country?
Well, I don't believe in that, but you look at, I mean, this is politics. You look at what support each group give. What is the level of involvement of each group? I do know that the president is trying to balance the government, but I think there are certain groups that really support her more than any other group. So, I mean, the Mandingo complaint is coming from that perspective.
No, but the Mandingo support for the president was not massive compared to the support we gave to our own ethnic candidate Alaji or Sekou Kone. Because massive support from our community went to this candidate, even though they did not win. And those that supported the president, they were condemned largely from our community.
I understand that. I mean, what I would say is that, we just want some kind of balance, and I'm not of the opinion that, the Mandingo is supposed to dominate the government. No, I'm not of that opinion. I'm just saying that with the support that the Mandingo gave, and with the effort they made actually to bring about the democracy in Liberia in the first place by kicking out Taylor, and they did that job, and it should be some recognition of that. And to do that, I think it would be like giving them the opportunity to serve the country. It's not necessarily based on political support, but the whole change everybody enjoying was brought by Mandingo people. So I think that's where I'm coming from. And all will bow down to the president herself. I mean, this is her discretion. She can involve who she wants, because that's what democracy is about. But if people support you too, I think it's good to reward them.
But now the other important question is, we've had problem with our other Liberian brothers and sisters. What can we do to improve relationship with all other Liberians in the country?
Well, this is when we by as a historian, as a journalist, that this is not something new. And we, the Mandingo people, it's our responsibility just to prove our fellow Liberians wrong, to prove to them that we are a citizen, we are law-abiding citizen, we love Liberia, and to show to them the contribution we are doing in the past, and that we are doing now, and that we will be doing in the future. I don't think we should be wasting too much time to convince people always that who we are. Let work, and then let our good work speak for us. Let's contribute positively to the society. Work with everybody without bias, without prejudice, without any discrimination. Treat everybody alike, and focus on that. I think that's what we need to do to convince people. If they see that happening, the perception will change. Just do good work, good business, decency, and honesty, credibility. Let's try to do that. That's the message we have to send to everybody.
Now I know one of the fear factors in the Liberian society is always been, I know that was based on discrimination. When the settlers came to Liberia, they came with the notion that they have come to quote-unquote civilize the heathen tribesmen, meaning that they have brought Christianity to quote-unquote civilize the native people. But because some of us were already Muslim, we have religion, we resisted that whole Christianity campaign. And today, it has contributed in large way to consider us as not being citizens of Liberia. Now with all of the situation going on around the world, the violence and stuff like that going around the world, it may reinforce. Some people believe that, Muslims are violent people, they want to do this to us, they want to do that to us. They may have too much fear of us as Muslims. And what can we do to convince them that indeed our religion of Islam is a religion of peace, that respect everyone?
Well, number one is to teach the principle of Islam to people. Sometimes you have to distinguish between Muslim and Islam. And this is not only Islam, you find that in other religions. You have fundamentally in Christianity, you have fundamentally in Judaism. But is that what the religion is preaching? Of course, no. So our job should be to tell people what Islam is about, the peaceful message of Islam. Islam call for, for the betterment of humanity. Islam call that you get good relationship with your neighbor, Muslim and non-Muslim. Islam say you must be kind to your fellow man. Islam call that you be kind to everybody, people in distress, you help them. So this is the message we're supposed to send. I know it's not going to be easy, it's too much challenge up there, but this is what we have to keep focusing on so that people will know that Islam is not a violent religion, and our action as well will prove that. I know the Liberian crisis even started before whatever is going on now, but as you correctly said, it just reinforced that notion that people already had. So we have to keep working hard, to promote Islam and to promote the principle, and I think that will help a lot to change that mentality.
And Minnesota. My name is Lasana Bamba, a member of the Minnesota Mandingo Association, and I'm fortunate to be here with the Vice President of the Minnesota Mandingo Association, Mohammed Dole. Welcome to my microphone.
Thank you, Mr. Bamba.
Well, Mr. Dole, as we reside in Minnesota here, we notice that a lot of organizations, members will say that they are trying to follow our footsteps when it comes to peace, and even though it's not being 100% peaceful here, but the Mandingo body came together and formed an organization called FEMUSA, which is going to supersede all of the Mandingo organizations here in the United States. And then you attended that program in Philadelphia. It is widely being spread that you made some important comments over there that will bring about unity amongst the Mandingo people. What are some of those comments?
First of all, thank you very much for taking time to interview me this morning. I'm proud and I'm blessed to be here with you. It was a historical event that took place in Philadelphia, and we were blessed to be there. On behalf of our leadership, the Honorable President Ishmael Kumbara and myself, and other strong delegates, Mr. Mamadi B. Sise, and Abraham Bilite, and others, and our Honorable Captain Musa Kambara. I spoke at the mosque. It was a traditional period, and my topic for the day was we need to say the truth to our people. One thing I understand our Mandingo set of these days is that our elders, our fathers, our mother, not trying to be disrespectful to them, they don't say the truth to us when it comes to conflict resolution. Because what I understand, my dad, your dad, and other Mandingo people that live in Liberia, most of them did not go to school. But they live in unity, in peace, with understanding. They talk to one another. This is the seed feeding you and myself have for one another today. Why not today? We got people in our community that got master's degree, PhD, associate degree, high school graduate, and so on. But there's no understanding because John or Paul or Musa feel that they know better than the other person. It's not about that. We need to understand and have regard for our leadership, God regard for our elders, God regard for people that live or in the community. And how you're going to have regard for them? It is respect. You respect your little brother will respect you. But we need to say the truth. We don't say the truth to our people.
So if I were to come in from that point of view, you talk about speaking out the truth, and then most people listening to us will get a little confused by asking, what sort of truth is Dore actually talking about? Is it like what? Tell us a little bit about this.
If I can make a quick reference, if I can. If we have problem in our Mandingo community, people sideline with a certain group of people. If you know me personally, you want to sideline with me because you know me as Mr. Dollar. But if you know I'm not saying that I'm not on the right track, it's better to tell me, Mr. Dollar, I know what you're saying over there, it makes sense to us. But I think what Mr. Bamba or Mr. X is saying, I think we should do that for the betterment of our community. It's very difficult these days to find people like that in our community.
Mr. Dollar, let's come back to that point, like sidelining. Sometimes there will be certain people that you feel maybe retarding the growth of the community, and you feel like, oh, Bamba knows Mr. A and he's very close to Mr. A, so let him go and talk to this person. Is that the type of sidelining you are talking about?
No, sir. No, sir. To a point. The sidelining I'm talking about, knowing very well that in a community, people will disagree and agree. We need to respect that. And people also need to respect other people's view regardless you disagree with the person. My sidelining here, the definition I have for it is this. Knowing very well, you got 100% in a community. 90% of that community people is saying that we should do this. Because you feel Mr. X do not know better than you. And because of that, you cannot agree to the idea Mr. S has proposed to this community, and majority have agreed to that. Because of that, oh yeah, now those guys brought those ideas. I can't go with that. We need to stop that. We are all Mandingo. You're not Mandingo because of me. I'm not Mandingo because of you. We need to understand that. And we need to know if you cannot face it right now, the future we're gonna got a problem. Our forefathers, our fathers face it. This is why you and I, we are enjoying our labor today. This is why you and I, we are talking to one another as brothers and sisters. This is why we have regard for one another.
Okay, house divided against itself will never stand. If that is true, you are speaking about peace here today, bringing Mandingos together in order for us to have a better future. Why are you divided amongst yourselves in Minnesota?
Yeah, our leadership has tried its possible best to do everything in its power to bring our brothers on board. I know we have respectfully disagreed, but even tomorrow we're gonna have a dialogue with them, with the areas in our community and the leadership. All right. But just recently, personally, I understand why some of the reason they left, and they make it clear to all, and I sincerely respect that.
When you talk about the left, who?
You know, in politics, if you keep mentioning people's names, you might get into trouble. So, for the sake of peace, I would just say people that left. You know, calling people's name, I don't want to make comment to that right now. Thank you very much.
Now, okay, we agree that we are not going to call names, and we had higher ranking officials of FEMUSA here during the last program, that is Ishmael's wedding, and we noticed that they were trying to bring together the party in Minnesota that disagree to agree with the other party. And then you had a discussion. What did you discuss? What did you learn from the discussion? And how have you implemented what you learned from the discussion?
Mr. Bamba, once again, in that discussion, I think it was fruitful. One thing everyone understand that discussion was that it was about the future of this community, it was about the future of our children, and also about the present right now. Because if you do not face the present, the future gonna got a problem. And I think it was fruitful because one, the conflict resolution, we shake hands, we talk to one another, we came with one understanding. You know, there was a plan implemented in place that we think that we're supposed to do. By the grace of Almighty Allah, if that worked, I think we will succeed. I think we will succeed with the help with most of our elders in the community, the Honorable Alaji Samuka Beliti, Oma Malama, Oma Makagba, and etc. You know, I think with their influence, with the help of the president of the leadership of FEMUSA, the Honorable Secretary Maurice Manju Krumah, and an Honorable Board Chairman Abraham Krumah, and others. And one of our brother Katamba, Abdullah Ketamba, they helped a lot that day. We helped with the negotiating team of our honorable captain, Brother Musa Kambara and Lassana Kruma. Tomorrow, I don't want to say right now that this is what we're going to do. Then in the future, it might haunt me or it might be a problem. But I'm hopeful and I'm optimistic that we will succeed.
But what have you done to prove to us here today that the peace talk you had the other day has been implemented?
If I make a quick example, if I can, if you look at the president wedding, those guys were present. Kafumba was on it at the wedding site. They went on the soccer field. That's a clear indication that there's something in place.
Does that tell us that Kafumba was there maybe because he's a personal friend of Lassana Bamba or a personal friend of Ishmael Komara, but not because of the Minnesota Mandingo Association?
You're entitled to your view, Mr. Bamba.
Not my view, but I'm asking you.
Okay, people might analyze it any way they feel like, but as far as I'm concerned, I think there was something in place because Brother Bangali Tower, commonly called BT, was present. He played a soccer game with us that day. That was the first of his kind after those gentlemen left. Okay, they was on the soccer field with us, so that shows certain sign of good way that we will succeed. I will still say that we will succeed and we shall succeed.
Inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum. Akuma mikuna ni we amina akuma agbeyani fokase adama and that lumi wala wole ba o menye kumale me mo abaden suso ya no ni bi na fe abbe ya lo kafo ala na herele ka mwanye kafo nu ma si bi ko mo menye ya la da we herele ala ma obi abbe hali yolo donc ala be obi a iti hali yolo I hakisi I famaji alanye I dinye nyote mate se si ama gbanza ni majini ni mama si la su anitereko ala jafa mama ko ala dinye mwanye mata feka dinye enyonye na feka be mai ngano ama feka min da sebe labie talikulo kabe meya yama nu ya feka min da sebe labie talikulo kabe meya yama bawo talikule jama na bela ma jama na mi kono ni wo taliku ye be ta Philadelphia ya no ita taliku tiaye ya karam aya mo bawo ama alabi ama agolondula mo bae ba yoro bele wa shama ya na jia mwala ko ala kimbe sale dafani fele jompla donc ni kafoko iya mo ba golodula kama she fa kimbe sa fe ile tena mo ba shola itena bu kojiko so minde menye ya la wolo bi minde menye ya la bi na fe ka ma yinga dinomission ni kunu wo be atene afake enyolo mva kuma na sama sise duma mwache misi kono ana bia ko nku ofa amanye ko bedeni kadi no mi dabalo weto ko bia ko nu abeta sedua sele abeta sesana nyaka kotinya nunke afa di shoe no kakulatola mui miri menye ya koma ma lo kafo ma history le mani bi kake ma fe kaminde sebe ma talikula wa fo kunne ka wala kunde ko mina wote ta nyefe kumfana mbeka la mo adinye ka atinyai kallo kafo ala kene dafane. No one is perfect. No one will never be perfect but God. We have to know how to forgive. We have to accept. We have to help. If you put someone on a leadership, that person will never make it unless all of us join together to help him. When he's short somewhere, we will be there to make that happen. That's our problem. And I believe it's time now for the Mandingo community to grow. I'm sorry if anybody take offense to that. We need to grow. We need to rewrite our history. It is time for that. What are we going to leg to our grandchildren in Liberia? Our own people are calling Alaji Kroma warlord. I'm sorry. But this country where we're talking today was under the power of the Queen of England. Some people here had to say enough is enough. They could be called warlord. But they are called in this country the founding fathers. Do we have founding fathers? Are we going to have some heroes in Liberia representing the Mandingo community? I was very happy. I was blessed to see young Mandingo fellows getting up and arming themselves to go defend the name of Mandingo, the dignity of Mandingo in Liberia, because we was called the foreigners. Now today we're trying to change that. Today, that effort that made us equal to anybody in Liberia to step forward and speak for ourselves, we're trying to put that down. The young fellow Mandingo people. So what I'm asking you all here today, please, the people representing us in Liberia, our elders, our leaders, they're not perfect, they will never be perfect. But when we measure what they accomplish versus what we mad at them for, if what they did accomplish for us, for the Mandingo community, for the name of Mandingo, the history, the dignity of Mandingo, let's take that. Let's go with that and let's forgive them. Other than that, not only we blocking the way for ourselves, we blocking the way for our great-grandchildren. So please, I'm appealing to my brother Mandingo people here today. We need to be able to be agreeable, even though we do not agree. But let's be agreeable. Let's talk. If we don't talk, we're not going to understand one another. Let's sit down and talk, listen to one another. Let's not take our problem anymore somewhere else. I believe we are mature enough to solve our problem. Now I Jaffa Maninga kuma English canon. Na me kan din gbe so nda feka na message la timi e ngono nyamga na feka afo nyaka. Wa ni mabade unkata dinye. Aye dinye aye meye ya kweta. Be inyabo ichene yalo mu nyalo sano. Ma menye ya magie. Ala na mo mulu shira ka abia mwanye. Ala te ule. Wa mo adinye mo amademe kama la dan kata nyefe. But ma sela ma woche ma mo to wu mama kama kere. Ma to ye na. Menye wu nyoma kinyon kere inyon woche. Mo to wu ye mama kama kere. Ma te sela. A se tole ma la shu anitire because nous banza mbende. Bembe ya so etilale. Ni maka be. Ni maka be inyon woche. Dati se mala. Mana mi ya mwa be mewula wolewe. Ebe man the story tala. Kada mi ya Ghana. Kata si Senegal. Kata si Gambia. Sanyi walking. I'll challenge you. Ta ita story buku be mafe. Menye na masa yakela. Oma kuyo boba. Menye na bana yakela. Oma kuyo boba. Ba bi menye we afeka mala bi. Kata ma she bembe ya koso. Aye din ala koso. Aye din anami koso. Mu ibodi nyoma. Ma be haje.
I'm going to speak English, I'm sorry. I'm Ishmael Kumara. I'm a son of FKK who live in Philadelphia as well. I want to say 2 years ago, I had just finished college and I was thinking, what can I do? And I thought, well, it would be nice if I served my community. And I decided to run for the president of Minnesota Mandingo Association, and I was fortunate enough to become the president for that organization. And during that time, I thought, well, it would be wise to talk to brothers with similar ideas. And apparently I traveled to Philadelphia during that time. I drove actually 18 hours to meet with Rich McConnell. and I met Richman Corner and I explained to him, Richman, this is the idea. I know this has been going on for a while, but it would be good that, you know, if we can bring this up. And I had the opportunity to meet with my brother Billy during that time, and we had a meeting and we both share our dream and aspiration, and that aspiration was to see our people together. And tonight, we are all fortunate to be here together, and I am so happy for that. But one thing I want to say, the reason why we gather here, our fathers, our mothers, our brothers, and our sisters, and our uncles have said a lot, and but I just feel like the reason why we gather here tonight is to not really sympathize with Alhaji Nkrumah. Neither did we gather here to stand against any of our brothers. Everyone is our brothers, both as Mandingo and brother in Islam as well, and we must learn to forgive no matter what difficult circumstances we might have faced with that person. And I think that is the sole purpose of the conference. The purpose of the conference is for me to look in the eyes of the brother tonight and say, brother, during the war, you are one of those who killed my brother, but I forgive you. And therefore, let bygone be bygone and let's move on. Because you know what? If I fail to do that with Mutak, brother Mutak, what's gonna really happen is that he live in America, he take care of his bills. The person that really suffer, what I realize, is Seko in a refugee camp, is Mando in a refugee camp, who cannot go back to Ganta to claim her land, who cannot go back home to nourish her children. Those are the people that suffer. So we thought it would be wise if we put all our personal differences aside to come together, no matter what Alhaji Nkrumah has done, no matter what I have done, no matter what you have done, no matter what she has done, to look us in the eyes and say, you know what, brother, I forgive you today. Can we come together and move our people forward? Can we uplift them? This is what this is about. I can tell you, we have intelligent people in your community. We have good people in your community. We have educated people in your community. We have lawyers in your community. We have doctors in our community. We have nurses in our community. We have good resources in our community. The purpose of this is to identify those resources and to put them to good use. And I think it should be an opportunity for us to come together. This is not a moment of division, I want to add. We do not have enemies among us. We have brothers who disagree with us strongly, and we must make them to understand that while we might have that disagreement, we must also have a common goal. There is a saying that there are many ways to the mountain, but there is one view, and that is to say that we all strongly feel that the Mandingo people need to be together. But the way they need to be together, this is where we disagree. But the fact is that we have a common goal, and therefore we can put aside our differences and unite. And therefore, I just don't challenge myself tonight. I challenge the youth, and I challenge the elderly to say, you know what, tonight, during this conference time, no matter what I have against somebody, I will forgive them, and definitely will move on. I will hope tonight that the purpose of this tradition hours will be to identify conflicts that we know that are existing in our community, bring those people together to say it is difficult, but we can do it because, like I said, we do pay our bills, but people out there are suffering. We hear the news all the time, we read it all the time. Ganta, Lofa, people are suffering, they need their land back. People have been harassed on a daily basis. They want to be supported. They want to live freely. They want to move freely. And therefore, if we fail to unite, that will not happen. I thank you for giving me the opportunity. And thank you very much. If I'm having to say anything against anybody, please forgive me. I'm young, and we are all subject to mistake. Thank you.
Thank you very much. He's also going to introduce himself.
I'm Califara FM Corner, aka K the Dreamer.
And where did you come from to reach to Minnesota?
I'm from Philadelphia.
Why are you here today, brother?
We came for our brother wedding, Ishmael Kumara, who is married to my sister, Malama Kone.
And then we've realized that your visit here today, even though it's with regards to your sister's wedding, but it also appears like a peace mission, reuniting brothers. Tell us a little bit about that.
Telling that there was a division among our kinsmen in Minnesota, and our brothers from Pennsylvania and New Jersey came over to try to reconcile the differences. And there has been some progress, actually.
So, what did you gather from that negotiation today that will help Mandingos in the future?
For what I gathered, these guys came up with a positive consensus, came up with a decision that they're going to be unifying the two organizations, make one body. But they decided that they're going to do that within a week or two. But we are appreciative of the fact that they have agreed to reconcile the differences, which will be good for our community. Because that's what we want at this present juncture in our nation reconstruction process.
You're going to be heading back to Philadelphia possibly tomorrow. What's the message you are taking?
What I'll be taking from people in Philadelphia is that since the formation of our new organization, FEMUSA, the Mandingo community are moving forward. And in the near future, we're going to be having a very good community here in America and also back home in Nigeria.
How do you think the Mandingo community in the United States is going to help those in Africa?
First of all, what we got to do is to unite our people here in America, because we got all the opportunity to help our people back home. But if we are not united over here, there will be no possibility of us helping our people over there. So since FEMUSA was founded and now they are working assiduously to find peace among our people, if we have peace among our community in America, that's going to help us carry the peace across to Africa, especially Liberia. That's it, but we just hope that our people come together and unite for the betterment of our community.
Thank you ever so much for speaking with the Diaspora Photo Studio based in Atlanta, Georgia. And behind our camera today is Brother Musa Sharif. He's doing this to help our brothers and sisters, not only in the United States, but around the world, because he wants to produce this and spread it so people receive the gospel of unity amongst the Mandingos. So, Brother Kalfara, thank you ever so much for speaking with us, brother, here in Minnesota, specifically Brooklyn Park. I have with me one of our important brothers, both in Liberia and here in the United States, but he's going to introduce himself first.
Like Kane, I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
All right, thank you very much. Today we are going to speak to him about unity amongst Mandingos here in the United States and back home in Africa. It is being widely believed that if we understand ourselves here in the United States, definitely the problem in Africa is going to be solved. So, Brother Famo, we say welcome to our microphone first of all.
Oh, thank you very much.
Upon your arrival at the airport the other day, the first thing you preached to me was unity. What brought about that?
As far as I'm concerned, in the Mandingo setting, people call it conflict, but I don't perceive that way. These are little bumps on our way, but notwithstanding, we as Mandingo people, whether in the United States or in Liberia or any part of the world, we have to be united. If we are united, we stand under one umbrella, the powerful we are. So that's the importance of it. We have to preach this all over. It should not be for Mod or you or Musa. You get me? Any Mandingo man for that reason, it is our job as a young man, if we have the energy and the time, stand up for your people.
Time, and most of the Mandingos will put more effort in bringing about something from the initial stage, but later on their lack of follow-up. How can we correct this?
Yeah, you see, I got anything you are committed to when you started, this is a long process. Let me make that clear. Our fathers came, our uncles and the rest of the people came. They did their part. This is our time to proceed from this end to the era we're going to start. Maybe our children will come and take it from that end. But notwithstanding, I don't want. First of all, I hate to be part of failures. You get me?
Okay.
That's why some people say, I get big hearted. No, that's not the issue right here. My issue is when I start something, I should be able to see the ending of it.
Okay.
If I'm not sick or God don't take me away from you guys.
Going back to our forefathers, like you said, they've done extremely lot by bringing us to this point, and they did not go to school. You and I went to school. So most people would think like, since they did not go to school and they were able to bring us to this level, maybe we should be able to do better than this. And why are we continuing to fail?
No. First of all, when you say they did not go to school, I get exception to that.
Okay.
You see, they went to school, but what kind of school you talking about? When you say they did not go to school, if you tell me say they did not sit in English class, I will accept that. But some of our parents went to Arabic school, they went to madrasa and stuff. You get me? And our forefathers, these guys they have God knowledge. Okay. You can go to school, you get a master and 10 master degree. But if you don't have that knowledge from God, you're nowhere. Okay. Most of the people that they get master degree, doctoral degrees, but they are failures.
Why do you think they are failures? That's what we are looking for.
Because they are not committed to what they are doing. Anything you do in life, you have to, first of all, get clear conscience for everybody. Not a matter because you are Mandingo man or Pella or Gil man. If you, for example, look at, I always put in my talk, this guy, politician, how do you call this guy from Nimba County? Joseph Seguano. Before, I have respect for Seguano, but when I start to study about him, he don't deserve no respect.
Why do you think so?
If you dealing with Liberian people in general, you want to make peace, but come clear, come with clear mind. I watched one of his movies. He tell on that movie, he's saying that the Mandingo people they are they are stranger to Liberia. What make you a stranger? They seem right. You get in Liberia, seem right again. Can you deny me of that? No.
Then let me take you to a point where they said that the cockroach is not going to enter the wall if it does not see crack.
That's
so
correct.
There should be crack amongst the Mandingo people that needs to be corrected.
Yeah, that's a process we are trying to start right now. That's why we are preaching all over. Anywhere I go, I will preach it to you. Whether you like it or not, we have to settle our petty difference. That's how I consider it. Because it's not serious. Frankly, those that we should be concentrating on is those that came and drove all of that land, killed our people, opened our parents' stomach, take the baby and put it in the world. These are the people I'm thinking about. Okay. All the other little things, these are, I'm not worried about it. I know it's going to be solved.
But they say a house is divided against its seven stand. So
that's why we are working on it. It's a working process. Yes, we have to work on it and resolve it. That's what we are starting right now. So it should not be Famo or Ebi Kroma or you. This is a group work.
Do you sometimes feel frustrated, for example, seeing your ethnic group going in a direction that you don't expect?
Yes, sir.
And if yes, what is your frustration?
The reason is that, frankly, some people say they get problem from all kind. You get me? I put you down or you put her down. Tell me what the problem you get with me.
Okay.
Some of them will say, "Oh, he don't know how to talk." Alhamdulillah, that's how God made me.
Okay.
You don't know how to talk. Come and coach me.
Okay.
Some people say he get big hat. Alhamdulillah, that's me.
Okay.
You get me? But notwithstanding, if I get you to talk to me, that will enable me to be on the track. But if you see me and leave me alone, then it's gonna be a problem.
One important point, we also understand that our elders who are supposed to be making peace, some do not follow the direction that they actually supposed to follow when it comes to making peace. Meaning, they will not tell us the exact truth, either because they are connected to this person or that person. What can you say about that?
We need to pray to God, to change the people's behavior. You get me? We have to change, we have to keep praying so God can change their behavior. For example, if you have 2 kids, God has said it, treat all of them the same.
Okay.
50-50. Very simple. If you can't, then you are not qualified to be a father.
Okay.
You get me? So we gotta keep praying. This is a continual process.
Okay.
We have to maybe our generation will stop somewhere. Those are coming behind, they will take it from our end and go. But not to say let our kids know that their father was doing something, they stop here. So for that reason, let it take it from that point to that point.
All right. Yeah. Maybe we need to send a specific message to our children and they send it to their children. And you attended the Mandingo conference in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Okay, and you are also a prominent figure in the Mandingo society. Having attended the program, what was the message you took to your wife and children?
Frankly, I told them 3 things in life. Our family was sacrificed for that. 1, it's my family I'm from. 2, it's the religion I saw myself practicing because I saw my ancestors practicing and practicing.
Okay.
3, it's the tribe I'm from. These 3 things, I did not choose to go there. You get me? So, God Almighty make me part and parcel of this article process. For that reason, I will stand by it until death do me apart.
Okay.
That's what I tell them. First, you got to unify yourself as a people.
Okay.
In-house. When you step out of the house, respect. You see, respect is a book for tribe. When I respect you, you got to say, I deserve to be respected. You get me? But you can't sit down and say, I need respect. Then you don't give respect. It don't work that way.
Okay.
I told my wife and the rest of the kids in the house, number 1, we have to respect ourselves.
Okay.
If you want to be respected, respect yourself and respect others.
Okay.
You get me? In return, you will get respect. But notwithstanding, Mandingo, being a Mandingo man, you did not choose to be Mandingo. I did not. I saw myself in that same situation. So for that reason, I don't care how difficult it is. I hate the community hate you. Identify with your tribe.
Okay.
And your religion.
Finally, if you were to have the opportunity of having the entire Mandingo community sit before you today, waiting for a single piece of advice that would be a unifying force within the Mandingo community, what would be your message?
First, I would talk about the reunification of our people, and we have to be consistent and persistent with that. You get me? We have to reunify our people peacefully. If we reunify ourselves, I bet you the situation in Liberia will resolve itself.
Okay.
It will. Not the situation in Nimba County. The reason the people are suppressing our people from their land and their houses is because they're seeing that crack in the wall.
Okay.
But if that crack is sealed, if the crack is sealed, I bet you, I give you six months just to listen to the outcome of that.
Thank you ever so much. You were listening to Brother
Famod Abdullah Kane from Philadelphia.
And he's been speaking to us with regards to unity within the Mandingo community. We are going to now reach to other brothers.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. My name is Mamadi Kone. I can say probably the youngest among the leaders. And on behalf of the Wisconsin Mandingo Association, we have a goal. Being as young as I am, can see my Secretary General, former Speaker, we join together for a purpose, and which is the betterment of our people. How can we do this? Is to improve ourselves the way, learn from one another, and that will take us forward. And we need advices from other people, as well as they need advices from us. You learn from your young, and the young learn from the elder. Being the youngest, that doesn't mean you are the closest among everybody. And being the older, you can always learn. The only thing I think we have to do is learn how to love one another here in the U.S. first. That's the main purpose of us gathering here tonight, loving. When we love one another, there will be a feeling through that feeling, we will always have opportunities to help those who need it. Right now, like many of our brothers have said, there are people back home that needs help. But how can we help them? We have to help ourselves here first, which is unity among us. If we get that unity, there will be progress. When progress comes, there will be happiness. So I ask my brothers and sisters that we need to stay together no matter what the circumstances are. With that, I will say Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much. Before I pass the microphone over, I forgot I wanted to compliment somebody here. Personally, I was